is me, FreezerBunny, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So today we're building a vacation home here in Granite Falls featuring the Tropical Getaway mod by SimplyNando. So really quickly before anything else, I just want to say a quick thank you to my good friend Nando for giving me an early access copy of this mod. When Tropical Getaway first released a couple of years ago, I did some videos featuring it, and ever since then, so many of you guys have come up to me asking me if this mod will ever get an update, and yes, it did get a sparkling new 2018 update, and I have to say, I don't think I've ever seen this mod looking this good. I don't know why, it just looks so much more beautiful than when I first remembered it. So all of the relevant links will be provided in the description below if you guys want to get your hands on a copy of this mod, so feel free to do that. And yes, anyway, now that all that's out of the way, this house is actually a rental and it's called the Alona Bay Villa. So the name translates as Wave Bay Villa. In Filipino, alon means wave. So I just want to clarify that before any of you guys jump to the conclusion that I stole the Sim Supply's name for Alona Island. No, it's its own thing. Anyway, so yeah, this house has one bedroom and one bathroom, and I kind of made it for like a couple. This would be a perfect place for a couple to spend like a honeymoon tropical getaway. This would be perfect for them. And I was really inspired by Malay and Thai architecture specifically, which actually happened unintentionally. I kind of just had like a basic shape in my mind, and as I was doing the roofing, I was like, oh my gosh, it looks like a Malay and Thai house. So I kind of just went with it and rolled with it, and I kind of just embraced it. I feel like having just come from watching Crazy Rich Asians 2 times on the cinema might have influenced me subconsciously. Who knows? We don't know how our brain works. I really don't know. But basically, one really interesting aspect of Thai and Malay architecture is this really elaborate layered roofs. So I was able to do that in this build, and yeah, anyway, I wanted to do something that was actually more contemporary and not like full on traditional historical. So this is definitely more of like a resort type build that would have been probably built recently, if you guys get what I mean. So it's got a lot of like modern features to it as well, such as concrete and glass. But I don't know, I just really love this build. I had no idea it would actually look this good, and I feel like I just made my favorite tropical builds I've ever done. Like, it's either this one or the I forget the name of the other one that I did a couple months back. It had like I think it was the contemporary jungle villa or something like that, or the tropical contemporary villa that I did a couple months back. Anyway, this build does use custom content, but as custom on my channel. I will be doing another version of this build without CC, so you guys can have a choice if you would like to download the one with custom content or the one without CC. So all of that will be linked down in the description below as well. So yes. Anyway, for this roofing, basically, this is another build, by the way, that is more outdoors than indoors. So like, I'm gonna say majority of the living spaces in this house is actually located outside, quote unquote outside, and the reason for that is I really just wanted to do this elaborate roofing for the master suite type of area. I wanted like the whole shape of the roof to be visible from like the main bedroom, and in order to do that, unfortunately, I had to delete the walls that made up the room into an interior space. So unfortunately, I did test this out with seasons, and when it rains, the sim will bring out their umbrella, even if they're like in the interior, like in the like living room or like the bedroom area. So just please keep that in mind. I would suggest to disable rain and thunderstorm if you would come here on vacation. But anyway, it's not really that big of a deal. Overall, it still works. It's not glitchy at all. That was just one like little thing that I thought I would bring up for those of you guys who might be mindful of those kinds of things. But overall, I was really happy with this build. I think I was able to capture like the essence of traditional Thai and Malay style architecture without making it kind of like a caricature of, you know, their architectural style. And I definitely mixed it in with some modern contemporary architecture as well. But I love doing these wooden truss details. I thought that they looked really good, and I thought that it really had added a lot of nice details to the build as well. But yeah, I used a lot of concrete and wood, and it just came together looking so good. I was really happy with it. And yes, the shape of the house as well is actually very traditional looking, and this is a type of house that would probably be really familiar all throughout Southeast Asia. We do have I live in the Philippines, which is also in Southeast Asia, by the way. So yeah, we have a very similar architecture to this as well, but typically like there would be like some regional variations, which is why in the beginning I specifically said that this was inspired by Thai and Malay architecture, because visually that's kind of what it looks like. I think that so many people have this misconception that, you know, tropical Asia looks the same, like, oh, it's Bali or it's Phuket or like whatever. Well, there's so many different cultures, and I just wanted to stay true to this one, which is inspired by Thai and Malay architecture. So the ground floor of this house is where the main living room is, and it's also where the kitchen is. This is actually my second attempt in furnishing this ground floor area. I actually shared a photo on Twitter when I completed this whole area the first time I tried to do it. And then basically I went to sleep, and when I woke up, I actually hated what I did. It just didn't look good enough for me. So I scrapped it, and yeah, I kind of changed it. It's a good thing that I save multiple backup files of, you know, all of my builds, because yeah, that would have been a pain to you know, delete all of the items that I've already placed. Oh my gosh, by the way, I love this little aspect of having this L-shaped staircase. I would definitely try to use L-shaped stairs as much as I can. Like, give me an opportunity to use L-shaped stairs and I would do it. So I was able to use those in this build, and I thought that they actually worked really well. And yes, this is the little kitchen area in the middle of the house. And then I put some shelves above the bar area in the kitchen just to give it like some more ceiling detail. And then over here for the main living room, it's actually very like sort of resort formal, if you guys get what I mean. There is this aspect of symmetry, which I know a lot of people don't really appreciate symmetry that much, but I do think that in some cases symmetry is more appropriate, because I often associate symmetry with more formal, you know, formal situations. So I think that in this case, since I was trying to do more like a luxurious high-end, you know, private resort type of thing, I thought that the symmetry was quite good. And plus, it's really not super symmetrical. There's still an aspect of asymmetry, but for the most part, it's pretty symmetrical. I also threw in a lot of flowers in this build. I don't know why. Every time I think of Thailand, I just think of like orchids and lilies and all of that stuff. So I just put a lot of flower arrangement over here and there. Anyway, so I really enjoyed doing these outdoorsy builds. Oh, by the way, I wasn't able to put it in this build. I didn't realize that this thing existed, but you guys will see in just a little bit. I put a ceiling fan. First of all, I didn't know that ceiling fans actually had animation. I was like, what? They spin around? Like, what? I wish I knew this much sooner. But I eventually found out as I was completing this build that there is a custom ceiling fan that comes with the Tropical Getaway that actually cools your sim. Like, so if there's like a heat wave, for example, in the summertime, the ceiling fan can actually cool your sim down. And I was like, that is like, so like that's like epic realism right there. Like I was like blown away when I found that out. Also, like I love using this like palm tree. I'm not sure what it's called. Oh, there I am putting the ceiling fan. But anyway, the palm tree thing that came with Movie Hangout, like I never use that because it's just way too big, but I was able to use it so much in this build. I found some really nice places to work it in, so I was really happy about that. And yes, the dining room is actually in a really interesting spot. It's actually right here underneath the main staircase, which I thought gave it this sort of like intimacy. Oh, by the way, here I am putting some custom content items. I will delete these and upload a CC free version for those of you guys who aren't comfortable with having CC. My voice cracked, but I noticed that every time I upload something on the gallery, much fewer people seem to prefer to download CC builds as opposed to CC free builds, like which is why I typically opt to give people the freedom of choice and, you know, have the option to either download the builds with CC or with no CC, which is more work for me, but I just want people to enjoy my work, you know. It makes me so happy every time I receive messages from people who actually use my builds and who actually enjoy playing in the houses that I build. It just makes me feel so amazing. But yeah, the dining room, we just furnished it. It was under the staircase, and now we are moving on to the second floor, which I also really love as well. I love going into free game camera mode. I don't know what to call it, but I love going into that mode and just looking at the high ceiling, and it just looks so amazing. And of course, we have a canopy bed, which is appropriate for this type of setting, which is mostly an outdoor setting because realistically speaking, places like tropical Southeast Asia has lots of bugs, and if you sleep in this kind of setting where all of the doors are open, like I imagine those windows are like supposed to be sliding doors or something, but definitely there will be a lot of bugs. So having canopy beds will actually scare the bugs away, or like prevent bugs from biting you. So for the most part, this house does not have any artwork except for that one painting. I love looking at that painting. It looks like this Indian kind of fresco mosaic type of thing. So I put it in the wall right next to the bed, and I really enjoy how it looked. And then right here I'm just adding in some more detail items. You guys will notice that there are some porcelain vases, which I thought just gave this build more like that oriental kind of vibe. So I was able to incorporate those, as well as some incense burners as well, which I actually never use a lot when I think about it. I should probably make use of those because I do have an ongoing LP, and I don't know, maybe like incense will help in some way, I don't know. But yes, I think we're working on the lighting, and let me just say this place illuminates very beautifully at night. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that in just a second when we actually get to the lighting part, but this is where I actually did more elaborate roof work because I really wanted like a ceiling fan to hang from the ceiling above the bed, so I did my best to work it in. I don't really like placing lights that don't hang on from something, so in this case I actually made some beams where the light is supposed to hang from, which was a lot of work as well, but I put some fences that look like trusses, and I don't know, I thought that it just made for a really interesting roof detail, and I thought that it also looked really realistic as well. So yeah, I had to take out one part of the roof, so I can see what I was actually doing on the inside, because if you're working on ceilings, The Sims 4 doesn't have a view that enables you to look at the ceiling from build by mode, which is actually a feature that we have in The Sims 2. I remember in The Sims 2 when they added ceilings, I believe it was with Apartment Life. We had an option in game to actually tilt the camera upward so that we can see what we were doing in the ceiling. Anyway, that was a really long, rambly bit about ceilings. But working on the bathroom, I love this bathroom actually. So we have this little alcove with the bathtub, and I thought that just felt really resort. So I really like that detail. And I put a ceiling fan above the bathtub, by the way. I'm not sure how that's gonna work out, but it's there. And then we have this just really nice feature wall using walls that came with fitness stuff. I don't think I've ever used that wall before, but it's this like marble looking wall. It has this like marbly texture. It's really beautiful. So I put that there, and then a lot of stuff from Spa Day, fitness stuff, and Seasons. I think the bathtub I used is from Seasons, but I just really liked how the bathroom came together. Once again, it has this aspect of symmetry. You guys will see in just a little bit. I put these beautiful lily flowers, which are perfect if you put them up against this wall, because I feel like these flowers, they're meant for like putting against walls. Because I don't really particularly like the backside of those flowers, I know. So yeah, I'm so particular, aren't I? Anyway, so yeah, we're just adding in some candles just to make things a little bit more romantic looking. And there goes the ceiling fan. I'm not sure how that really feels in real life, having a ceiling fan above you when you're taking a bath. But I just was trying to take advantage of any excuse to have a ceiling fan. Anyway, yeah, right here we are now working on kind of like the balcony, terrace, veranda area. Literally all those three things are kind of like the same. But yeah, this is like an extension of the living room from the master bedroom. And I know there's so many chairs. I often get comments of people saying there's so many chairs, but when you look at resorts like this in real life, they have like literally like 10 million chairs. They have so many chairs. So yeah, I just went for the more realistic route, maybe slightly excessive, and I'm putting this little kind of like day bed or something. I got this technique from a good friend Harrie, and it's just amazing. I feel like I have to put this in every house I make now. That just looks so awesome, and it just made me so happy to look at it. That's like literally that's one of my favorite new things to do. And yeah, I also put a bar and a little outdoor breakfast area as well. One really interesting thing I did in this back part is that I put these little lanterns. They came with movie hang. I'm not sure actually, now that I think of it. I don't recognize that icon. I'm looking at it. I don't recognize that gift icon. I'm not sure. It might have come with like a free patch or something, but I thought those lanterns hanging from those corbels looked really good. And I also put these lights in like the balcony area from the roof, and it illuminates the roof very beautifully, and it just looks so good at night. So I think most of the interior is pretty much done at this point. All that's left to do is actually put this I guess jacuzzi area up on the topmost level of this little observation deck type of thing. And one really interesting thing I did in this area is I used those spandrels from Seasons, and I used them as ceilings. I tried to work in a ceiling fan, but I thought that it was really weird to have a ceiling fan above the hot tub, so I just put like a normal light instead. I really like how that area looked as well. But right now we're working on the swimming pool, and once again it's a little bit different from swimming pools that I would normally build, but I really like the idea of this kind of like infinity-ish pool. So it's slightly elevated. It's very like luxurious, romantic, whatever. I can't find my words right now, but you guys get what I mean. It looks very resorty. Like I could see myself in Malaysia or in Thailand or in somewhere exclusive and super expensive, which I cannot afford, and just enjoying the outdoor pool area. So yes, I really enjoyed doing this, and I put like a little sandy bit in front of the pool, and there's a couple of massage tables over here as well. That little sandy bit felt a little bit small, so I do end up enlarging it a little bit, but yeah, I put some massage tables, which is perfect for a couples massage, or like for an individual sim who just wants to relax. They could also go here as well. But in Crazy Rich Asians, this is not necessarily a spoiler thing, but they went to this island which was supposed to be in Indonesia, but I think in the movie they actually shot it in Malaysia. But they had this like scene where they were having a massage, and I was like, oh my gosh, this looks so good. Like I need to get myself one of those like Thai massages, though I heard that it was gonna be like really painful, so it scares me a little bit. I might break a bone or something. Anyway, so for this front part, it's really difficult to incorporate like a main entryway area, because in lots here in Granite Falls there's really no front or back. You guys get what I mean? Like there's no road to reference where the main entry would be coming from, so I kind of just made a pathway with sand and just put like a little truck. Yeah, I imagine that truck would be like the car that would bring over the guests who are staying here. That would have been probably a little bit better if I used like a golf caddy instead, but we don't have one of those in game, so whatever. Anyway, we are making this little entrance area in front with this feature fountain. Oh, and by the way, I had to put this little detail of having these shoe racks in front of the main entrance, because in a lot of Asian cultures, I'm not saying all, but in a lot of Asian cultures, people, every time they go into their house, people remove their shoes. We do it in the Philippines, and I'm pretty sure in other parts of Southeast Asia as well, so I thought that was a really neat little detail to add. And yeah, you guys just saw me put that little fountain / waterfall area in front, because I mean, when you think of like a tropical paradise, you have to have a waterfall. So for the landscaping, I actually kept it really geometric. Like the planter boxes, the planter beds are pretty like boxy and geometric. But I think it really works because I don't know, there's just something about it that looks really nice, and I was actually really happy with the landscaping for this. So basically I mixed a lot of, you know, organic free-flowing plants with some more formal structured looking ones, and the landscaping was just really awesome. I love that pop of red I used with those flowers that I don't even know what those came with. Maybe a romantic garden, but yeah, it's a nice mixture of, you know, like tropical plants. And oh, I discovered this one thing. I've never really gotten to use it that much in other builds, but there's this aloe plant. I'm like, where did this come from, and why isn't it in the build category? Because the aloe plant, it's in buy mode. I was like, what? But I put it there and it looks really good. But it looks like this build is actually coming up to an end, so I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap up my commentary right here. So yeah, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to help support the channel by liking the video, sharing the video, and also leaving a comment, because I love hearing from you guys. Okay, so yeah, that is going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. You all have an awesome day. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.